Good morning, dear students. Today, we will study the chapter The Fun They Had. After giving you a brief introduction about the chapter The Fun They Had, here I am with the explanation of the chapter. So let's begin with the characters. Margie is an 11 years old girl who hates school. Tommy is a 13 years old boy. Mrs. Jones is Margie's mother. Mechanical teacher is one who teaches Margie and Tommy. He teaches them different subjects and works on the television screen. The fun they had is actually set in the future. Margie is the main character of the story. She's a girl of 11 years of age. She writes a diary on the night of 17th May 2157. And right now we all are living in 2020. As discussed earlier, the story is set in the future and it is set in the year 2157. So almost 1.5 century. That is 140 years from now. At that time, Margie writes an entry in her diary and she writes that Tommy found a real book. And she is feeling so strange because in her times, real books do not exist. They only have e-books, the virtual books. Margie is reminded of her grandfather. He told her that his grandfather studied all the books that were printed on paper. So, this kind of a book is historical or ancient for them. Margie is talking about the book that Tommy had found. She says that the pages of the book had turned yellow and they had been crushed as it was very old. This was a very strange experience for both Tommy and Margie. When you have a book which is printed on paper, whenever you flip the pages, you get to see the same thing written on the pages. On the other hand, in an ebook, the text keeps on changing on the screen. The screen is same. You have the same screen in front of you, but the text keeps on changing. So, whenever you go back, the text is different. Tommy disliked the printed book. He said that it was a waste because he felt that whenever you complete reading a book, you have to throw it away. You cannot have that, you know, some different story written on the same book. On the contrary, he felt that the computer screen was very good because the same screen had shown him many books and still he could read many more on it. Margie agreed with Tommy's opinion. Margie was 11 years of age and Tommy was of 13 years of age. Margie asked Tommy about the book. Tommy replied that he found the book in the storeroom of his house. Margie asked what the book was about. Tommy replied that the book was about school, about going to school. Margie hated the word school, and so she said that what was there to write about it, that an entire book had been written about school. What is Margie's school? Margie's school is a mechanical teacher, a machine which teaches you, and not that school where we all go. Now, why did Margie hate school? Yes, children. Marchie's school was a virtual classroom. It was not a real school like we have today. So, in the future, we are thinking that the schools will be virtual classrooms. There will be machines that will be teaching the children exactly the same as happening now. When we all are confined to the four walls of house and when we cannot go to the school, we all are having the virtual classrooms. Yes, Margie hated this machine because it were giving her so many tests in geography which were very difficult for her and she was performing very bad. Finally, her mother thought that there was something wrong with the machine. So she called the county inspector to check it. The county inspector came to check the mechanical teacher. He was a round little man and had a red face. He was carrying a big box full of tools with dials and wires. This man opened the machine and repaired the computer. Margie hated this mechanical teacher the most because she had to submit her homework and test papers to it. Margie had to write her homework and her test papers in a particular punch code that is a computing language. So, the county inspector said that Margie was getting bad marks in geography because the machine was not working properly. It was geared to a higher level. He said that sometimes machines malfunctioned and that is what had happened. He had slowed it down and set it to the pace of a learner of 10 years of age. He said that Margie was learning at a good pace. Margie was sad because she did not want to learn, she did not want to study from this machine, and she wanted that the inspector should take it away. Margie is reminded of the time when Tommy's mechanical teacher had been taken away for repair for almost 1 month and he was enjoying his time. Now, we know the reason for Margie's dislike for school. So she asked Tommy that why would anyone write about school? Tommy was looking at Margie with superior eyes because he knew something that Margie was not aware of. He said that Margie was silly because she did not know that many years ago the school was not the kind they had. Tommy wanted to stress on the time period and said that centuries ago the school were not like the ones they had. Margie was hurt at Tommy's behavior and said that she did not know what kind of schools they had centuries ago. Tom is referring to a machine teacher as a regular teacher because that is what they are used to. That is the teacher they had, a machine. He said that it wasn't the machine, it was a man, human being who taught them. Margie could not believe that a man was a teacher because she had always seen a machine doing that. Tommy tells that the man who taught the class discussed many things with the students, gave them homework, and then asked them different questions based on it, just like the mechanical teacher did. Margie said that a man teacher is not as smart as the machine teacher. Tommy asked Margie not to underestimate the human teacher. He said that he's as knowledgeable as the machine. He compares the machine to his father and says that his father knows as much as his machine teacher. Margie did not want to discuss this further and added that she did not want a strange man, the human teacher, to come to her house to teach her. Tommy found it very funny when Margie said that she did not want a strange man to come to her house to teach her. He said that teachers didn't come to the students' house to teach them. They had a special building, a school, and the students went to the school to study. Margie was astonished and asked that did all the children learn the same thing? Tommy said that all the children of the same age studied